What up? T-Bob here.
And Jake as well.
And look at you. You done stumbled upon little OTB Saints, where we bring you all the latest black and gold coverage.
Who are the Saints going to draft? Who's going to be their quarterback? What does the salary cap look like? All that information and more.
Hope you enjoy it. Like, subscribe. It's an odd time to be a Saints fan, but I do know this. We will have conversations throughout the rest of the year as to whether or not you actually want to win the game coming up. This is the one that you want to win here, okay? I do not care about winning any other game. In fact, I'd probably say objectively it's better for the Saints to lose every other game and try to maximize their draft pick. But you never want to lose to the Falcons, especially not because the Falcons are sitting here. They're trying to get their divisional record of 5-0 for the first time since 2014. The all-time series, remember, is now tied again. So this is your chance. Or excuse me, I think you're actually one game under now. Remember, you've never been in the lead with this series since the first ever game that was played. You don't want to lose ground there. With a win, the Falcons would go to 7-3 and 7-1 against the NFC, and they would sweep you for the season and basically assert their dominance. And make no mistake, the Falcons, I mean, you want to talk about, in the NFL right now, there's a few divisions where teams are starting to run away with it. Like the Bills could clinch maybe by Thanksgiving, it looks like. And then in the NFC South, the Texans pulling away in the AFC South, and the Falcons right now pulling away as the only team with a winning record in the NFC South. So it's the last game you want to win. And Jake, I got to say, I like this from a timing perspective. You've perfectly timed the interim bump. A lot of times your interim coaches, that first week, everybody's juiced up, new stuff, new energy. The old regime's out of there. You're excited. You play really well that Sunday. And then it tends to kind of dissipate and fall apart because, oh yeah, you're a bad team. So here's to hoping that you can capture some of that interim magic, get that interim bump, beat the Falcons, and then who cares what happens after that? Right. This is the Saints Super Bowl. This is the playoffs. This is the chance, Rizzy. Go make it happen.
Do well this week, but don't do well after that.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Honestly, from the outside looking in, I get why you would say that about the Saints Falcons. That's your rival. And you don't like them at all, so I completely get that. It's like if the Chargers and the Raiders, like I can never say go lose to the Raiders on purpose, so yeah. I completely get it. If you do what you're talking about and you beat the Falcons and lose to everybody else, you're still going to be in line to get a quarterback. You have to get a game changer out of this draft. Let's say it doesn't end up being quarterback because of the Saints' history. It has to be a player that immediately, as soon as you turn in the card to Goodell, he's impactful. Like as soon as it happens. And you have that opportunity. You haven't been there in a long time. And there's been times in your history that you've had the opportunity and you've selected Sullivan, a defensive tackle out of Georgia back in the day, right? It's like, what?
Yeah.
We did, huh?
Yeah.
So even like before this front office got there, like you have not been the best at handling that situation. You've traded your entire draft for a running back, one that I love, and Ricky Williams, right? But you haven't handled that situation. You have to handle that. You're going to have a top pick. You have a bad team that just traded one of its best players. You're an interim coach. Everything's bad. You have an opportunity to change your fortune here. Like, with this draft, you got, all these picks for Lattimore, but it's like, do you trust the person doing the picking?
Yeah, I mean, we discussed yesterday. No, you don't. But that's for then. For now, beat the Falcons on Sunday. Let's get one good vibe Sunday. And think about vibes. Think about the first time these two teams matched up, right? Saints 2-1. I think the Falcons were 1-2. So close to 0-3. You felt like you had a chance to bury them, take a dominant lead. Everything was going to work out. The Saints were good. And the two teams have gone in completely opposite directions since then, right? And so I just basically, this is a spike game. I just want to piss in their Cheerios, and make them eat it. And then whatever, go on, win the NFC South. Who gives a damn? Doesn't matter. Kirk Cousins will disappoint you in the playoffs. But for this Sunday, win the game. and then win nothing else. Come on, Saints, lock in. Let the Hoodats have one positive feeling after week 2 that is not just the firing of the head coach. That's the goal for Sunday, okay? Beat the Falcons. Wow, just amazing black and gold takes right there, Jake.
I don't think I've ever heard any takes that are better than the two guys that just gave you that take.
And you can keep getting them by going ahead and liking, subscribing, ringing the bell to get notifications when we post. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next OTB Saints.